Hi there, I'm here for the channel, and this is the new full-length slasher movie, The Redwood Massacre 2025. This one doesn't have any famous actors in it or anything like that, but it does have everything else. Lots of blood, some decent kills, and a very charismatic villain. This came out about 2 years ago, and it has been flying under the radar. It's actually pretty good, and today we get to watch it together. So just before we start, please hit that thumbs up button. That really helps with the algorithm, and if you want to be kept up to date with all the latest horror movie releases, then please subscribe. There will also be a link below to a playlist of all my other movie reviews. And now, without further ado, let's get into the movie. The Redwood Massacre takes place in the Redwood Forest in California, which is a place where people go missing all the time. And even though the police do their best to find them, they never do. In the opening scene, we see 2 young women walking through the forest at night. They are laughing and having a good time. They re-drunk and they re-looking for somewhere to pee when suddenly they hear some noise in the trees. The girls are scared and try to run off, but they soon trip over and fall to the ground. A man jumps down from the tree and he stabs the first girl in the chest and she screams. He then stabs her again and she dies. The other girl tries to climb into the tree, but he pulls her back down. She begs for her life and says that she will do anything, but he pulls out his knife and slices her throat open and she dies too. The next morning, the police come to the scene of the crime, but they can't find the killer. We then meet our main character, Lisa Cameron, who is the sister of one of the girls that was killed, and she is on her way to the cabin where the murders took place so that she can pay her respects. On the way there, she stops at a gas station to get some more fuel. At the gas station, she meets a guy called Mark Wood, who is played by actor Danny Wood. He is an exterminator who is also looking for a cabin in the woods. And because they both want to go to the same place, they decide to travel together. When they finally reach the cabin, they find 3 more girls there already. There's Kelly, Shelley, and Olivia. They are friends of the girls that were murdered, and they are there to pay their respects. But it doesn't take long for Lisa to realize that they are not alone. Someone is watching them from the trees. As the night goes on, more and more attacks happen and the body count starts to rise. I'm gonna stop the movie right there because that is exactly where the first half ends. So we'll talk about the first half of the film now. As far as slashers go, this one is fairly original. Yes, it's about a group of people who go into the woods and gets picked off one by one. But it doesn't feel like a retread of any of the other slashers that have gone before it. For one thing, the setting is really good. I love that it takes place in the woods because it gives the killer more opportunities to attack, and also because it adds to the atmosphere. I love the fact that we don't know what is in the trees. You can only ever see part of it or hear something moving around, but you never know what it is. This creates tension and makes you jumpy, and it also makes you feel like the killer could be anywhere. I also thought that the dialogue was really good and all the characters felt like real people. I did particularly like Lisa and Mark. They had a really nice chemistry, and the actor playing Mark, Danny Wood, well, he might not be a household name, but he carries himself with such charm and charisma. Every time he was on screen, he commanded it. His line delivery was perfect, and he made Mark such a pleasure to watch. Now, I'm not saying that the other characters were bad or anything. They were all good in their own way, but Danny just completely stole the show. Now, I would say that the weakest point of the film so far is probably the kills. There are a couple of gory ones, but most of them are fairly tame. Okay, so now let's move on to the second half of the film. At this point, we find out that the killer is someone called Lester, and he lives in the woods. He is a recluse who doesn't trust anyone, and he has been living in the woods for most of his life. He has no family and no friends, and he spends all his time hunting animals and killing people. He is a serial killer, and he has been killing people for years. He is the reason why so many people go missing in the Redwood Forest. Lisa and Mark team up with a local sheriff, Caldroy, to try and find Lester and bring him to justice. They track him down to an abandoned cabin and they sneak inside to try and find him. But they are too late. He has already killed everyone inside and he is waiting for them. He attacks them and tries to kill them, but they manage to escape. They run into the woods and try to hide, but Lester is relentless and he finds them. He chases them and stabs them, but they manage to get away. In the end, Lisa and Mark are the only survivors. They make it to a car and drive away from the forest. They are safe, but they are traumatized by what they have seen. Now, overall, I thought that this was a really good slasher flick. I think that it is a welcome addition to the subgenre. The kills are fairly creative, and there are some really intense scenes. I also like the fact that the killer is not your typical slasher killer. He is not a maniac or a psychopath. He is just a regular guy who has been pushed over the edge. I think that this makes him more realistic and therefore more scary. As far as the negatives go, I would say that some of the acting is a bit iffy, but it's not terrible and it doesn't take away from the overall enjoyment of the film. I also would have liked to see more gore, but I understand that this is not a gore fest, and that is not what it is going for. So overall, I give the Redwood Massacre 2025 a rating of 7 out of 10. It is definitely worth a watch if you are a fan of slashers or if you are just looking for a good horror movie to watch. Thank you for watching. Please do check out the rest of the content, and I will see you next time.